And we'd just like to thank all of the parents that put a lot of hard work into all of this and the food tent. So let's give them a quick round of applause. And we're gonna, if the seniors could come up as your speech is given, that'd be awesome. So we're gonna start with Jessie. If you want to stay sitting, that's fine. So Jessie's group. Jesse, you can use this chair. Wow, guys, this is a really nice Starbucks.
Yeah, pretty swanky.
Yeah.
I've been wanting to try a new drink, but I have no idea what to try.
Oh, really? Go ahead. I'm tired of picking up coffee.
Yeah. What's new and like so risky? Like,
You know?
a lot of good qualities.
But also really sweet.
Really appreciate it.
Yeah.
Well, do I have the drink for you? It is the new Jessicino. The new Jessicino it goes with food really well, perfectly. And the caramel on top is fabulous. It also is very positive. It's very risky. It's dedicated. It's humble. It's selfless. Fun-loving, respectable, approachable, and inspirational. It also has some growth hormones that do happen to make your feet a tad big. That's the only side effect. Sorry about that.
Okay, so Jessicino reminds me a whole lot of Jessie. Jessie is a risk taker, and we know this because she started crew her sophomore year and was really brave and just dove right in and it became a great part of the team and like just did it all without complaining or anything.
And she's dedicated because even though she hurt her back and did come in as a sophomore, she just kept on pushing at it and coming back to practice.
And she's humble because Jessie's a really great rower and a really great person. And she's definitely one of the strongest in our boat, and she did come in as a sophomore, so she started behind, and you never, ever hear her brag or ever say anything good about herself, even though she always tells other people when they're doing really well.
Oh, and then, like that, she's selfless, and she always is willing to just, to do anything for the team, and make lots of sacrifices, and is really kind to others, makes them feel good about themselves.
And Jessie is fun-loving because she has a really great sense of humor, and she is always willing to add to a conversation with funny comments or put up with other people's funny comments. And she can be both fun and serious at the right time. It's a good stuff.
And she's really respectable because even though like a lot of people go to her and complain to her a lot about everything, you never hear her like complain back or like say something. It's like, oh, I'm gonna stop listening to you and now listen to me. But she never does that.
And she's approachable. She's really easy to talk to. And if you ever need advice or you're worried about something in rowing or anything, like she'll always give sympathy or advice. And she's always so kind when she listens and when she responds.
And like the Jessicino, she is inspirational because it was mentioned that she's one of the strongest rowers in our boat, and she is very much a person to push off of, and she gives people someone to look up to in the boat and someone to strive to be like. And she really inspires everyone to push harder.
Yeah. And we're gonna miss you a lot, and you're gonna be really far away, but we're still gonna hopefully be able to see you, and we're gonna miss you. a lot of time this season painting oars. Every day she's like, hey Kylie, just poking us and painting all the time. Number 2, like a good neighbor, Katie is there. She's always there to give advice, and I've asked her a lot of questions this year, especially about coxing, and she's always, I've been in her carpool, and she's always a great person to just come up to and get advice from, and just, you know, she always has something really nice to say.
Number 3, she can solve a Rubik's Cube. I went over to Hannah's house, and Katie was there on Halloween, and I saw that both of them could solve a Rubik's Cube. And so I got kind of jealous and went home and they inspired me to learn how to solve it myself. Now I can solve it too.
Number 4, she's very logical, and her catchphrase is "mwahaha." Her sense of logic makes her a fantastic coxswain, and also I was in AP Computer Science with her this year. Her final project was making a bug march across the screen and spell "mwahaha."
Number 5, she's obsessed with Minions from Despicable Me. Pretty good obsession.
Number 6, she always has a different perspective on things. So I was in her carpool almost all of last year, and every day, you know, I'd get in the car and I'd be like, oh, my day was so bad. And Katie would be like, oh, well, this is good. I'd always be way happier after I got out of her car as opposed to when I got into her car. And her car is just like a ray of sunshine. It's gold, so it actually is. And number 7, she can't swallow pills, you know. And I can't swallow pills either, so, you know, we have this in common. And someone to lean upon when I can't.
Number 8, she's very open to everyone. I came in my freshman year, and I'd already rowed a year at Baker. And I remember I pretended to be a novice for the first part of the season. I came onto the experienced team, and as soon as I got into the boat with them, as soon as I walked over to the boat, Katie came up to me and she's like, oh, hi, I'm Katie. I'll introduce you to the rest of the boat. And it was so nice because I really wanted to be back with my friends. But it was nice to feel welcome.
Number 9, she's deathly afraid of needles, which seems like a pretty legitimate fear. I mean, I have that too.
Number 10, she is a perfectionist while we were painting oars. Her face, whenever we would take off the tape, and she would find that a little bit of red had gone onto the gray, her face would just fall. She's like, I need gray paint now. And she'd try scratching it off, and then repainting it, and sanding it, like, just obsessively. Not really pretty, which is good.
Number 11, she calls people munchkins, which is interesting to me because she's shorter than me. And she's shorter than a lot of people.
Number 12, she rocks at small boats. I remember this winter, several times we went out in like singles and stuff, and Katie would just like totally be keeping up with the pack. Even though she seems small, she's really actually quite mighty.
Number 13, I just realized this is kind of ironic because the thing is she has a lucky buffalo and 13 is unlucky. So when I was a freshman, we had a race, I think it was the Seattle Henley, and she had this little buffalo that she kept at the front with her, and she just held it up while she was coxing. And that was, I remember that was the first good race that I had on this team.
Number 14, she keeps calm during sailboat attacks. My freshman year, she was my coxswain in a 4, and we were practicing one day, and a man in a little, like, it was a small sailboat, not like a full-size yacht, but just a little one. We got kind of close together, and he got really angry. And he was just, like, waving his paddles all over the place. It was kind of scary, but Katie got us out of it, and she kept a cool head, and she's definitely a fantastic coxswain.
We're gonna miss you.
Emily.
That was really good. That was good.
Good evening. We have a story to tell you. This is based on a true story. It's about the life of one holy named rower. Once upon a time, there lived a beautiful young princess named Emily Margaret Holland. It is difficult to pinpoint her exact origin, but some say it is passed to the darkest of woodland dwellings in a mythical land called Bellevue. Young Princess Emily never suspected where her travels would take her, but it extended from Seattle to the distant land of Los Angeles, which she will soon make her home for the next 4 years.
The princess spent hours dreaming of a magical sport, a sport we know as crib. From the first mention of the sport from her princess friends, she knew she would be great, legendary even. In her freshman year at Holy Names Princess Academy, she joined a group of young ladies as excited, strong, and lovely as she was, almost.
Princess Emily excelled to the max and helped lead her team to countless victories in San Diego, Boston, and Cincinnati. Princess looked out for all fair maidens on her team, which led her to form beautiful friendships with 4 special ladies, so special that she even incorporated them into her daily carriage rides. To these girls, Princess was an inspiration, a mentor, and a true friend. She taught them proper carriage maneuvering, the newest royal choirs, deaf jams, and how to behave around the princes of the land.
With this valuable advice and guidance, the 4 young women were prepared for the rest of their 4 years at Holy Names crew. Today, they attempt to choke back tears as they bid their dear princess and heroine adieu. Very
Princes of the Land.
Alex Pavlich.
All right. All right, round 2.
So, Alex has a nickname, and we wrote a song about her nickname to the tune of Who Let the Dogs Out. Okay. Who let Big Dog out? Who let Big Dog out? Dude, you're a bro. And I asked what's happened to ball. Dude, you're a bro. I asked the costume who's that and greasy. Dude, you're a bro. And she questions us all. Who let Big Dog out?
like this year, I remember we were out on a run, and it was like her, like how people would leave us and all, and the entire time it all was just like advice on everything. It went from advice to like how we're all like these wonderful people, just like self-confidence booster stuff. And I remember she said one thing, it was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, you're like a 26. It's like these little things that really just like really can brighten up people's days, and it's just like those little things that really make her an amazing person. So she's just so nice. That's all.
I also have a story. I didn't know Alex very well at the beginning of this year, and luckily she and Pia welcomed me into their carpool. And I got to know Alex pretty well, and it was great, because I was like, oh, maybe she won't like me. This could be awkward. No. But she's really, really nice, and she taught me a lot of things that will not be discussed. They're good. Not really. Anyways, I learned a lot from you. I wanted to say thank you. That was a hug. That was a hug.
My freshman year, I was in the TV Light 4 with Alex. We were evolving ladies. And she was just a huge role model for me in that boat, and I looked up to her the whole time that she's been here. She was a fantastic boatmate back here, and she really helped welcome me to the team and made me feel comfortable. It was really special. Hi.
Right, emeritus.
Okay. This is Amelia Moffitt's senior speech. Senior, a student in the final year at a high school, college, or university, or a senior citizen.
Speech, a form of communication in spoken language made by a speaker before an audience for a given purpose.
We have recently been conducting a case study on a new species called the Amelius moccatus, or the Amelia for short. Our results are illustrated in these charts here.
I've drawn a picture of a brain. We have sectioned it off on how the Amelia thinks. And this part of her brain is her ability to assert her authority. Yes.
In this section of the brain, we devoted to her curious bush baby eyes. That resemble those of a nocturnal African animal when she's excited.
It's her primary face.
And in this section over here, under her center of random facts, we have the difference between the Appalachian and Rocky Mountains.
We also have her ability to distinguish between Shabbat and Shawat.
We also have her knowledge of the Christmas and Easter Catholics, and she will tell you all about that. dreams.
Right here is dedicated to inspirational speeches to motivate her teammates at all times.
Red here is dedicated to her amazing ability to remember all of the race times that generally only coxswains and sometimes not coxswains know.
And this part right here is dedicated to knowing other people's personal lives.
Yeah.
And here,
Oh, I was just going to point out this part of the brain. Strength is a very big factor in her loves.
also her unusual tan lines.
And her love of team, which we get very frequently. And then this small part right here, tapeworm dilemma.
Small section here dedicated to her ability to creep.
Oh, and the last part up here is her love for Jesus. One last pie chart. Motivation.
10% of her motivation is the knowledge that when she gets back, she can eat.
15% of her motivation is messed up teachers. 20% is teammates who are irritating her.
18% is my vast knowledge of the sport of rowing.
15% are my coaches are wrong.
Yeah. 32% is I want to go to nationals.
And 20% is her respect for her teammates.
Oh yeah. And note, this is censored for the safety of children.
Also note, the wedges are not to scale, and percentages add up to 130%.
I actually added them up at the
Because she always gives 130%.
Okay, so I am workout Emma. I just got back from practice, you know. I got there a little early, so I did some bench press just for some steady state. Only half an hour. It was like only 500 pounds. No big deal. I was fine, okay? Then we went on the boat, and I don't know if you can see, but I have these awesome designers. They're just amazing. Because I guess the boat designers can't figure out that some people just can have this much muscle. I guess it's just, you know, unheard of where they're from. Just unheard of.
So I'm student Emma, and I understand the importance of devoting time to one's education. Well, but I also understand that sometimes you have to prioritize. And if I require sleep very badly, then I will take a nap. Whether or not it happens to be in the middle of my AP English exam. And also, I know that Sperry's go with everything. And 2 bumpers on your car are not necessary. I don't even notice it anymore.
So I'm social Emma. Brought it up like
it all day. I don't even need the stick anymore just because of that. I also have a really awesome laugh. You can hear it like 500-mile radius. So I'm responsible, Emma, and I feel that it is my duty as a former team captain to inform you that I plan on visiting all of you in college, and if I see you riding a bike without a helmet, and I will hit you. Even if you're in California, where that kind of thing isn't necessarily. Wait, there's an Emma missing. Where is she? Where's she at?
I am Emma from college. And in my recent stint at Boston College on the East Coast, I have found people who share my love for Sperry's, and my collection has doubled by a power of 10. I mean, doubled. Also, I have a boyfriend who plays lacrosse, and his name is Chad. But I do miss my friends from high school, and I miss my teammates, and there are lots of other things that we will miss about you.
I'm going to miss how nice and just accepting you are. I remember every day novice year, we would always pass each other in the halls because our schedules were just weird that way. Every time she saw me, she'd be like, "Hi, Kylie, how are you?" And she'd always stop and ask me how I was, even though I was a novice, and she was like, "Varsity captain." I was like, "Oh my god, she knows my name." I'm important. What?
I'm gonna miss the de-stressing effects you have on me. Like after that story about the AP English exam, like my whole. The way I thought about APs was just like revolutionized. So much less stress. I just thought, oh, if it's to me, I had no
I'm going to miss your infectious laugh. Like, even if I have no idea what you're talking about, it's recorded, and I feel awkward laughing along with you. I can't stop. So I'm really going to miss that. I'm going to miss the really positive attitude you bring to the team. I always see you smiling and really encouraging everyone to try and do their best.
And I'm just gonna really miss like your sense of humor and your conversations that we've had, like the random times that we've carpooled home, and also in art class last year. That was really fun, and I admire your skills as an artist too.
Okay, we have Nora West.
So I'll just say a few words. Coxbox, ergometer, unisuit, shell. Let the sorting begin.
I would like to introduce our sorting hat. Go ahead and display it on my head.
I'll eat myself if you can find a smarter hat than me.
You can keep your bowlers black, your top hat sleek and tall.
For I'm the holy name sorting hat, and I can top them all.
There's nothing hidden in your head the sorting hat can't see. So try me on and I will tell you where you ought to be.
Any holy names rower is filled with motivation.
Their power, strength, and stamina is a source of inspiration.
You might belong in certain corridor where dwell the rhythm makers. Their muscles, when united, make them trophy takers.
You might belong in Coachel Pup if your launching skills be true. Have your megaphone at the ready and be wearing bright orange shoes.
Or yet a tiny coxswain claw, whose voice is loud and clear. You motivate and guide us, and we trust that you can steer.
Or perhaps in Bowerin, you'll make the boat fly. Thanks to your stability, the other teams will cry.
So put me on, don't be afraid. And don't get in a flap.
You're in safe hands. Though I have none,
For I'm a thinking cat.
now we're going to sort nor-west.
Put on the sorting hat.
Difficult. Very difficult. Excellent hydromiling skills, I see.
Not a bad mind either.
There's please some guess, and a thirst to prove yourself.
But where to put you?
None of these houses truly fit all that is great about Norwest. So we must put you in a fifth house. Rare few.
Better be Georgetown!
Oh, Nora, I just want to say it was so much fun being in carpool with you this whole year. I had so much fun hydromiling with you and totally watching the people's faces behind us on why we were going 25 miles per hour. And I'm very thankful that you have great reflexes, because when we came around the corner of Pocock, there was a huge semi-truck there that we were blinded by the sun, and she quickly swerved out of the way and saved our lives.
All your like interesting conversations, and like you always have something fun to add to the team, no matter what we're doing.
And you also drive me home a lot. And that is always, I'm always very thankful for that, even though you sometimes drive away before I have my bags.
Thank you very much, Nora. We're really sorry about your trunk, you know, that was really supposed to happen when you broke it. And the first time I met you, I was kind of nervous because you were always like with the, you know, the big varsity people, and then you had fishy crackers, so it was okay.
The end. We can take the sorting hat for
Okay, Leah.
Wait, no.
Okay, ready?
Oh my god, where are Gemma and
Can't. Where are they?
Oh my god, there you guys are.
They're out
Everywhere.
We need to do Pia's speech.
What are we going to do?
We're kind of screwed.
oh my god.
I'm so nervous. Like, God, guys, how can we make a speech that is as
Okay,
serious?
so
It just can't happen.
Brainstorm.
Okay.
I've got it.
Okay.
Okay. So you know how imitation is the highest form of flattery?
Yes.
One day, Pia Jacobs wore spandex and Sperry's.
Oh, big deal.
No
The
way.
next day, I wore spandex and Sperry's. I now have an entire closet full. Just because Pia.
She started the trend.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, and she looks so bro in this Sperry. Nothing is more bro than P Streets.
Like, oh, dude, shut the barn door. Do you remember the time she was walking in the boat?
Oh yeah.
The boat. And she was like, with the varsity people, and she's like, and they were walking in, and it was raining outside. Oh my gosh. And they were like, don't want to row today. And Pia went, bros, it rains on all our beaches. Did they stop in World War II when it was raining outside? No. They said, let's grow up some Nazis. Yes. So inspiring. I really
I just don't think we can do her justice.
You know, guys, I think we should switch.
Words. Like, Captain, I admit defeat. There's nothing I can do. There are no words.
I think we better leave.
I'm out.
I'm there, guys. Sorry. I feel
Okay, Kendra Riser.
Right now?
Well, we can all
Oh, it's in my here. So you can take this one if you need in my chair. We sit here. Oh, for the judges? Yeah, I think we're judges. Good evening, Holy Names Academy crew. Welcome. I am Caitlin Claudia McLean. I am host of this evening's edition of To Tell the Truth, which is a game show that is probably before most of your time. But I will do a brief sum up. We are going to try to guess which of our beautiful contestants is the real Kendra Riser. So now, let me introduce our celebrity panel.
I am Alexander Benjamin Twist, and I enjoy pina colada flavored protein shakes and long rows in the rain.
And I am Lisa Shannon, and my personal belief is that giraffes, graphic tees, and novices make the world go round.
Contestants, would you please introduce yourselves?
I'm Kendra Ellen Riser, and I'm praying for you.
I'm Kendra Ellen Riser, and I like your button spandex.
I'm Kendra Ellen Riser. I'm a student at Holy Names and a future Notre Dame scholar.
Alright, so, Kendra number 3, what is your breakfast routine?
Wow, every morning my daddy makes me orange juice and oatmeal, and when I get into the car, it's always buckled safely into the passenger seat so I can eat it on my ride to school.
Kendra, what was one of your favorite... Oh, Kendra! What was one of your favorite childhood memories?
Well, first of all, it's Kendra, not Kendra. Well, as a child, I was very creative, as I am now, and I invented a little game called hand fighting, in which your hands fight each other, like so, but the left one always wins, obviously.
All Kendras, what word do you think of when I say the word crew?
Well, crew to me is like learning how to read or write in English after coming to America from Europe. It's hard, but very, very rewarding.
I think of unity and teamwork.
I think of inspiration and motivation, and FUS being.
Alright, thank you, and I think it's time for some deliberation.
Will the real Kendra please present herself?
This just goes to show that we love all parts of Kendra.
Kendra, you made us all dance,
Cry.
Laugh, but most of all, we had a really, really, really good time.
Now we're going to share some stuff.
yeah.
Do you want to start going?
Go ahead. Last year in our San Diego 8, it was like my first big boat, that I'd been in. It was like travel team. It was a really big deal for me. And you were my coxswain, and you were a junior, and there were some seniors in the boat, and like there's some sophomores too. And you completely asserted yourself, and like I just felt so like in, and I like wasn't really in before, I guess, like with the like traveling teams. So you made me like super welcome. I mean, you made me feel super welcome, and I enjoyed carpooling with you and Katie's carpool, and you made CDs, and you've just been a really good friend to me over the years.
Okay, you have coming in as a freshman, you were one of the scariest experiences ever. I was so scared of you, and I was terrified. And then this year, you have just become one of my closest friends, and I love our carpool, and we've had so many great memories, and you've been a great coxswain, and a great teammate, but also a really good friend. And last night, Mariah and I were discussing how sad we were going to be when you left, and we literally started tearing up, and we're going to miss you so much.
I'm going to like crying.
So, yeah.
Okay, well, I really got to know you during winter and spring season. You drove us to practice every single day. Oh my gosh. And I just feel like I can tell you absolutely anything, and you, like, I can trust you with all of my secrets, and everything that I ever need to tell you. Just like, I know you will be honest with me and give me like the best possible advice, and I just really look up to you.
And for me, you've really been a mentor in all parts of my life, both academic and crew and social. I'm very envious of your valedictorian status, and I hope to achieve that one day in my own special way. Also, you are incredibly just a high-energy person, and I strive to be like that. And you can approach anyone, no matter how scary you might seem to the novices. They get to know you and know that you're just a really great person.
Oh, me and Kendra did youth group together when I was in 6th grade and she was in 8th grade. And the next year I came and my mom was one of the facilitators, and I was like, oh, where's Kendra? And she was like, oh, she went off to Holy Names. And I was like, oh, that's cool. And I completely forgot about it. And then I remembered you when I came back to crew, and you would always drive me when I needed it. You would always talk to me, even though I was a novice and you were experienced. And it just gave me a really good like feeling of what crew would be like, and it helped me want to stay. And I'm really going to miss you next year. And
Okay, well, I didn't know Kendra very well freshman year, but then last year we started carpooling together, and I talked to her every day about everything. And then this year we became really close, and just like, you've been such a mentor to me. Like, I don't even know if I'd still be doing crew, honestly. Like, you kept me with it, and you gave me such good advice, and I'd never be where I am now without you. And I just remember so many times where, like, I'd be texting you, and I'd be in a bad mood, and you'd just call me, like, even if you had to do homework. And just, like, help me through it. Like, you're always there for me, and it hasn't really sunk in that you're not going to be here next year, but I love you. I'm going to miss you so much.
good luck at Notre Dame.
Next is Kenzie.
Yeah.
Kenzie Christ, just an H away from Christ.
Your strength is so remarkable, it simply can't be priced. Your art in the Hall of Holy Names is a treasure to behold. It's so refreshing and unique, it totally breaks the mold.
Your dedication is an inspiration for every rower here. Your smile, hard work, and confidence often calms my fears.
Every day you wear a dress and belt and J. Crew cardigan. Your style, so cute and classy, is a total win.
You were such a great captain 3 seasons ago. When I, a little novice, saw you, it made me want to row.
Your crazy seal of puppy paint never fails to impress. Your steady hand with a squeezy bottle never makes a mess. You're tall, you're fit, you're tan. I'm kind of jealous.
You can run really fast for a really long time while you carry on a conversation without getting out of breath, a skill that's so fine.
I want to make that skill mine.
Your math skills are off the charts. We already mentioned your proficiency in arts.
Your earth skills as well amaze me to no end, and when you get in the boat, you give it so much then.
Every day I marvel at how fast you can make a boat move. Whether in a single or an 8, you always find your groove.
We love your sporty ponytail. You've got such great taste. And you practically invented flexing, of course. You're a genius with the winky face.
Everything you do it like a bro. Lax and crew and college apps.
Stanford, here we go.
Has always been a leader on the team. Like when I started as a novice, she was one of the captains. And so she's always been sort of a leader and always been there. Advice and it's inspiration. And she's really a person to look up to. Like, your blood pressure never seems to rise. Like, I've never seen you get angry or upset. And also, no matter how hard you work out, it's just like, 80 minutes on the erg and blood pressure's still present.
So I started novice year in the winter, and so I didn't really know any of the older people. But I saw you on the erg one time, and I didn't really know how to erg very well. And I'd never really seen a good person erg. And I was just like, oh my gosh, you're so powerful. And like, you're like flying off the end. I was like, how is she sitting on the erg? I don't know. But it was really inspiring. It's like, wow, maybe I could be that strong.
Yeah, I also remember novice year just being able to look up to you. I just thought you was like a leader, and I still see you as one.
So, Kenzie's like tiny, and I've been a tiny person as well, and I'm like, how is she so strong? Like, how does this happen? So I can only hope that one day I can be as strong as Kenzie, and really like you.
I remember novice year, we would like sometimes pair up with experienced people. Kenzie and I have birthdays that are pretty close together, so it seemed like every single time we paired up with people, I was always with Kenzie, and I just remember just being like, this is a rower. like talking to you the first time we paired up, being like, so what team did you make? Like expecting like, oh, 3B, like I'm a sophomore. I'm like, yeah, I just made varsity. I'm like, oh my god. And yeah, like, and again, as people are saying, like that's just continued through the years. Like you've just become more and more of a leader and team captain, obviously, and just like I think everyone can look at you and say that you work so hard. Like every morning that I was costing during the summer, you were there in your single, like going against like Alex and Michael Wales, and then you were still there for the rest of the day. Like you earned every single seat you've had in every boat, and I think we all know that. And, yeah, we're gonna miss you. Oh, we love you, Kenzie.
Alicia.
Yeah, Lee.
Sorry, Mom has to videotape.
What, you want to see your face?
Yeah, I wanted to see your face.
So I have a story about a sad, lonely girl. There was this sad and lonely rower, and she just got out of crew, and it was frigid and cold. And she was just about to pull out her phone and make the hard call to her parents that she wasn't coming home. Just then, as all hope was lost, a green van pulls up.
Do you need a ride? Who are you? Who am I? I'm the voice of reason. I'm Alicia Gardner. And I would love to give you a ride. I don't know. I don't really know that much about you.
Well, Alicia, originally she wanted to be the senior that everyone was scared of. But now, as she's leaving, the only thing that she scares us about is how much we're going to miss her next year.
Oh, that's
I would trust Alicia to drive my car. Her cool-headed logic got her into MIT.
This will probably be the safest car you ever had. What would I know? I'm just a man.
always really generous and like easy to talk to about anything and really inclusive.
Yeah, one thing that I remember was at San Diego, we were in the back of a van going normally there's a person driving that we knew. And it was like, I just got to talk to you, and it was like, I came away from that conversation just like, yes, like, this is like so much fun. I'm meeting new people that are really amazing that I want to be like in 3 years.
And you're always like such this nice person, always willing to help out around the boathouse with everyone. Like every time you always go before you, I was like, everyone need a ride, we're all good. You're always there to help out, and you're always just such like this sweet person. We're really nice.
Yeah, so you drove me home during winter season, and I never really talked to you before. I didn't really know that much about you. I got your van. That's the decision I ever made. You're like a really, really sweet person, and I had no idea how funny you are. You're actually like hilarious. You're really sweet. Thank you for the ride. So I had Alicia as a boatmate and a carpool buddy, and just pretty much wherever she is put, she just makes it a better experience for all involved. And she always lets me in her house, even though I eat a lot of her food. And she's just absolutely the most welcoming, sweetest, most wonderful role model I could ask for.
And it's really awesome. She was in choir until she graduated, but before that, happy-ish time. It was really awesome to see her there every Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and she always said hi back whenever I'd yell hi at her across the auditorium. I don't know if she's a morning person, but it was nice to see her happy.
Hey, so just so everyone knows, I'm playing Kaylin right now, which is odd because Kaylin and I don't really look very similar, but that's okay. Alright, so the scene is Los Angeles. Or San Diego. San Diego. So, wow, San Diego sure is great. I miss Holy Names a little bit, talking about Harry Potter with all the other interesting girls there. The sunshine sure is awesome. You know, there's just one thing that I'm kind of missing. It's my country music. So, we're going to be singing a little song for you to the tune of Toes. I don't know if you know that song, but it's one of Kaylin's favorites, so we thought we'd honor it. All right. I got my boat in the water, my oar in my hand, not a rock in the world, my hair flying away. Life is good today, life is good today. Well, the plane touched down just about 3 o'clock, and the city's still on my mind. Hot boys and palm trees danced in my head, and I dreamed of all the sunshine. Classes and grades are their own prison bars, like what you I'm about to do. The plane brought me to Cali, I'm surrounded by water, and I'm not going back soon. I got my boat in the water, my oar in my hand, not a worry in the world, my hair flying away. Life is good today, life is good today. Adios and bye, come Caitlin. Yeah, I'm leaving H&A. And if it weren't for Hogwarts and attractive Navy SEALs, I'd have no reason to stay. Adios and bye, come Caitlin. Yeah, I'm leaving H&A. Gonna lay in the hot sun, but with my sunscreen.
to my friends. Know Kaylin very well was last year at regionals when she was in my boat for the first time, and it was a really great experience. We came in not really knowing each other at all, but the boat as a whole kind of meshed, and we went on to win, and it was just a great, I think a great way to show just how, you know, dedicated you are to this sport and our team.
Kaylin always has a way of brightening your day. She's not in the best of moods. She knows how to put you in a good one. I just remember like guesting in her carpool now and then, and just like blasting Taylor Swift and just like talking about whatever we need to talk about. That's kind of my son voice and things like that. And yeah, we're gonna miss you. And it's just, again, it's weird. Like it hasn't really sunk in that we're not gonna be seeing you every day, but I'm sure you're going to do great in San Diego. We love you.
I was in the V4 with Kaylin this fall, and she definitely made the boat so much better. She lightened the mood all the time, and her sense of humor is fantastic, and I'm going to miss talking to her so much. And having her spend time with, and sharing our love of the Navy. I feel like she understands me. And it's really sad that she's going to be gone next year. We're going to miss you a lot.
I remember like the first week we got like before school started, we headed through, and like everyone all had rides. Like, oh no, I'll have a ride. So it's like, Kaylin, do you have your car? She's like, yes. Like, yay! It's like I didn't know that well, so I was a little nervous, but then when I got to sit in her car, it was so much fun. Every day we're just blasting out music, hanging out, talking. It was made the ride through so much fun. Like even if it was like 30 degrees outside, we still had windows down. It's okay, just blast out some music. The sun's out, that's all that matters. It's like you just had so much fun. It's really Hey, Hannah. So, we have a brief history of Hannah Black at Holy Names Academy crew. This is a timeline.
See what grade on your
So, novice year. I obviously wasn't on this team novice year, but I was on Mount Baker crew. And the one memory that we share from both of our novice years was Green Lake 2008. This is Baker, this is Holy Names, and this is Sammamish. I didn't really know if I was allowed to say the name. We're going this way. And this is Sammamish, and they seem to think that they went horizontally across the course. And so we didn't do very well that race. But Hannah told me later that the one thing that she was proud about that race was that she beat us. And so she's winning. And this is a big one thing that impacted, I think, Hannah's career at Holy Names a lot. And Coach Emily, for those of you who don't know, is a very interesting person. We did many activities.